Have you ever wondered why your offer isn't converting like it should? Spoiler alert, it's not the ads. It's actually how you're talking about your offer. And if that stings a little, good. Today's podcast actually might help you. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how to fix that. So today we're going to dive into the must-have structure for your messaging around your offer to make your offer irresistible. Because let's be real, no matter how amazing the transformation is that you promise, if your messaging is off, people just won't buy. Are you ready to turn your words into money? Let's dive in.
Hey there, welcome to the $1 Million Marketing Show. I'm your host, Jody Sedini. Dive deep with us into the marketing maze where we're going to tackle the big business questions head on, share expert insights, and crack the code on what it really takes to take your business to $1 million and beyond. Whether you're a battle-tested entrepreneur or just stepping into the arena, this podcast is your arsenal for strategies that hit the mark, expert advice that you can bank on, and of course, a good laugh or two. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's get ready to turn your business into a powerhouse together.
Hello. Welcome back to the $1 Million Marketing Podcast. I am your host, Jody Sedini. So whether you're squeezing in some podcast time between homeschooling the kids or grabbing a few minutes of peace and quiet before your next Zoom meeting, I'm glad that you're here. Today's episode is actually all about the secret sauce behind structuring your offer's messaging. Sure, the offer itself, the transformation that you're promising, is super important. But if the way that you're presenting it doesn't hit home with your audience, you're going to be leaving money on the table. And here's the kicker. Ads are just a feeder into your system. This is one of the core beliefs of my business and of what I believe to be true about marketing. And if the messaging is broken, the ads are not going to save it. Let's kick things off talking about the naming of your offer. So here's a few things that I want you to try and avoid. So don't try to be like trendy or funny. Save that for your Instagram stories, okay? Skip alliterations unless you're writing children's books like Dr. Seuss. And keep it short and sweet, okay? So like 2 to 4 words, 7 if you're feeling rebellious, but try to keep it short. The name of your offer, keep it short. Let's talk about getting it right though. So make sure it's easy to say, easy to spell, like it makes sense. And remember, if it's not rolling off the tongue, then you should be rethinking that, okay? Double check that nobody else is using that name and be sure to include some keywords that your ideal client is probably searching for. So make sure that that name fits perfectly into your brand's overall value ladder as well. So you want to make sure that it's something that's not cute or trendy, something that's not an alliteration. So you don't want it to be like silly or funny or people not take it seriously. You want it to include keywords that your audience is searching for on Google or YouTube and make sure that it fits into like your overall brand. So it sounds really hard, but it's not super hard. I'm really good at coming up with these things too. So if you need help with that, just shoot me a DM. I love coming up with offer names. Okay, so next up is actually crafting a killer description for your offer. So this is where you hook them in hard. In 1 or 2 sentences, you're going to clearly explain what they get and what they won't have to do to get it. Okay, I'm going to say that again. In 1 or 2 sentences, you're going to clearly explain what they get and what they don't have to do in order to get it. So here's an example. Become a 6-figure coach without burning out, hustling nonstop, or cold calling your way to insanity, right? You see how that's short and sweet and straight to the point? That is what you're aiming for. All right, the next part is building out an offer stack that stands out. So your offer needs to cover all the learning styles, okay? Visuals, think videos, infographics, PDFs. Give them something that they can see. Next is auditory. So like audio lessons or podcasts, or some people learn better by listening. And so you want to make sure that you include that part too. And then kinesthetic. So that's action steps. quizzes, things that they need to do. Keep them engaged by making them do something, right? Like submitting homework for feedback or something like that. And then don't forget like a quick win or an instant access. Okay. So get them into a community or a content portal the second that they buy. That's all in automation, right? It's not just about making the sale. It's really about building a tribe, because if you can have a customer lifetime value that increases over time, that's amazing. But make sure that they can get help when they need it, right? So when they first buy, having that quick win with the instant access, make sure that they can get that help right away. But also make sure that you've got like roadmaps or checklists or Facebook groups. And remember, the higher the price, the more high touch support that they should be getting, whether that's one-on-one or group access or Voxer access. Make sure that you really build out that offer stack. Also, you're going to need to show some tangible results. So around that offer stack somewhere, we want to include things like testimonials, case studies, screenshots from comments, anything that proves that if someone like them has done this successfully and seen results for it, that they can do this too. Okay. All right. The next phase is talking about offer targeting. So that means you want to hit both emotional and logical buyers. So emotional buyers, they want connection. They want exclusivity. They want a glimpse into their future and what's possible. You want to paint the picture for them of what their life could be like if they buy this thing from you. And then logical buyers, they need the data, the stats, the proof. They'll convert later, but only if the value is undeniable. So make sure that your messaging speaks to both the emotional decision maker and the logical decision maker. And think about this for a second. Like, which type are you? Are you an emotional decision maker or a logical decision maker? For me personally, I am very logical. I have total through and through Enneagram 8 personality. I get the gut instinct, and I'm able to make a pretty big decision in a pretty short period of time, especially if I have logical reasons to do so and that support that decision, like data. So think about that. Think about how you make decisions and make sure that you're addressing that and the other way. Okay, so the next part is urgency and scarcity. You want to get them to act now. We want to create that urgency and scarcity, which are two really powerful motivators that get people to take action. Okay, so urgency is going to be like time-based offers or bonuses that disappear soon. Make it clear that they need to act now or they're going to miss out on this thing, right? So urgency means they're going to miss out if they don't do it now. There's probably a countdown timer on the page, something like that. Scarcity means that there's limited spots or limited bonuses, right? Like the first 5 buyers get a one-on-one 90-minute call with me, something like that. People want what they can't have, am I right? So don't make it easy for them. Don't make it super easy. Make it so that you have built in that urgency and that scarcity, because that creates that desire. All right, next we're going to talk about guarantees and risk reversals. So this is where it's time to put your money where your mouth is with a guarantee and a risk reversal. So offer some sort of a guarantee. Most people won't ask for a refund, but sometimes they won't buy without that option. It protects them, or they get that sense of security. And in that, you can also protect yourself by requiring proof of effort if they want their money back, right? That way, this keeps things fair while still giving them a peace of mind. Another thing with talking about guarantees, that you don't always have to do a guarantee that is a financial return, right? So you don't have to say like guaranteed success or your money back. I have seen before, and I have also used before, a guarantee like, I guarantee that I'm going to show up as my highest and best self. I guarantee that I'm going to give everything I have to make sure that this works. Sort of a conversation like I have with clients when they're talking to me about doing their Facebook ads, is I'm not going to make you any promises about your results, but I will promise you that my team shows up with integrity. We show up with honesty. We show up with best intentions. We show up with data. We show up with projections. We show up with possibilities. And we paint that whole picture of like what is possible, but I'm never going to make that promise that is exactly what's going to happen because, we don't control everything. We do not control everything. And so there's so many things that are out of our control that it wouldn't be an integrity for me to make a promise that I can get you ads or I can get you results with Facebook ads. Like I can get you this specific result. So think that through and you can build a really solid guarantee without having to say like guaranteed results or your money back. Don't make too big of a promise that you can't stand behind. Okay, so we talked about naming your offer, crafting a killer description for your offer, building an offer stack that really stands out. We've talked about your offer targeting with the emotional and logical decision makers. And then we talked about urgency and scarcity and the guarantee and risk reversal. So these are really the keys to structuring your messaging around your offer so that your offer not only sounds good, but it also converts, right? So here's the deal. If your messaging isn't hitting the mark, it's time for a tune-up, right? So if your conversion rates are not there, or you just want to spice it up this time when you're doing your launch, our team does full copywriting audits of all of the pages that we run ads to. I know it's not normal. Not every company out there does that. Certainly not every ads manager or like media buyer does that. It is just not something that they do. But we help you get that landing page converting like a champ. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and book a call with me, the link's in the show notes or in the comments, somewhere around this video, you're going to find the link to book a call. And let's make your messaging as strong as your offer is and turn those clicks into cash. All right, that is it for today. Remember, the offer's transformation is crucial, but the messaging, that's what gets people to buy. So ads are just a feeder into your system. So if the messaging is broken, the ads are not going to save it. So take your time, get it right, and then watch the magic happen. I'll catch you in the next episode. And until then, keep pushing forward and making those $1 million moves.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the $1 Million Marketing Show. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the world of marketing, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, drop us a review and spread the word to your fellow entrepreneurs. Your support means the world to us, and it really helps us reach more entrepreneurs just like you. Until next time, remember that in business, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. I'll catch you on the next episode.